All right. Welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive. You're here because you're interested in Ethereum,
That's right.
and especially what's been going on in the market lately.
Yeah, definitely a lot of action.
So we're diving into some analysis from Santiment,
Okay.
and they're showing that Ethereum whales have been on kind of a buying spree.
Interesting.
They've accumulated over 1 million ETH.
Wow, 1 million.
1 million. That's a lot.
That's enough to make anyone pay attention.
Right. So what does it mean
Yeah.
when these giants are making these moves? What are they seeing?
Well, first of all, 1.14 million ETH
Wow.
is a massive amount even for whales.
Yeah.
So it really does point to a lot of confidence in the future of ETH. And,
Yeah.
historically, when we've seen this kind of whale activity, it has preceded some pretty big price changes.
So that's kind of everyone's hope, right? Like to the moon. But is that all that's going on here? What
Yeah.
else might be happening that we're not seeing?
That's a great question. And while speculation is always going to be a factor, I think there's more to this than just a quick profit grab.
Yeah.
We're seeing a growing trust in Ethereum,
Yeah.
especially from like institutional investors
Oh, interesting.
who are really starting to see its potential. And this is partly due to its recent upgrades,
Yeah.
particularly the merge.
Yes, which you were interested in.
Right. And this upgrade really addressed those
Sure.
scalability issues that a lot of people had by switching to a proof of stake model.
Right.
So now transactions are faster and cheaper
Okay.
and more energy efficient.
So basically, Ethereum just got a speed boost and went green at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a really big deal.
Wow. So these whales aren't just like blindly chasing hype.
Yeah.
They're actually seeing these fundamental improvements in the technology
Absolutely.
and then betting on that long-term growth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how does all this translate
Yeah.
to what we see on the charts? What should our listener be watching out for?
Yeah, so right now, Ethereum is hovering around that $3,300 mark.
Yeah.
And that's considered a support level. So that means that it's a price point where there's enough buying interest to kind of prevent it from declining further.
Okay.
But the key level to watch is $3,525.
Gotcha.
And that was a recent high.
All right.
And that acts as a resistance level.
Okay.
So that's a point where we might see some selling pressure kick in.
Right.
If Ethereum can break through that resistance, though, we could be looking at a significant upward trend.
The classic battle between the bulls and the bears.
Exactly.
So breaking through that 3,525 could mean like a potential bull run.
Yep.
But what if it doesn't?
Well, and that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
We always have to acknowledge the downside risk.
Of course.
If the price falls below $3,200,
Okay.
which is another support level, we could see a deeper correction.
And things could get a little dicey.
Exactly.
So buckle up.
Yeah,
It sounds like it's going to be an exciting ride
it is.
with the potential for some gains, but also maybe some losses. So what does this all mean for someone who's interested in Ethereum?
Right.
What's the big takeaway here?
Well, if we put it all together,
Yeah.
this massive whale accumulation and Ethereum's strong fundamentals, it suggests there is some positive sentiment for its future.
Okay.
Those improvements to the technology,
Right.
coupled with the growing interest from these big players, it paints a pretty promising picture, although you always have to be cautiously optimistic.
Absolutely. And this is a big, but we can't forget how volatile the crypto markets are.
Of course.
Whale activity is definitely an indicator,
A strong one.
but it's not a guarantee.
Definitely not.
So thinking about your own Ethereum strategy, how does this activity influence your thinking?
Yeah.
Does it change your outlook? Are there other factors that you're looking at that you find more compelling?
Right.
Definitely something to consider as you keep navigating this exciting space.
Absolutely. It's a fascinating world.
It is. And we'll be back to dive into more of it soon.
Looking forward to it.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
See you next time.
See you later.